It's showtime. This is not financial advice. I just hope you're interested in investing in the crypto space because you came to the right place. I need to know if you're in crypto for the long haul. Hit that like button, subscribe. Tell me your real 1% down in the comments below. I'm Project Pat, and on my channel, I get you project news, reviews, and overviews with predictions on tokens you want to know about. This is my chart analysis update. Grab your favorite beverage, sit back, relax, and get lost in my voice while I serenade you with everything crypto. Tonight, we're going to look at the charts. I haven't looked at the charts in quite some time now, and I needed to set myself up with an update on all the tokens I've been talking about on this channel. First, let's take a look into the crypto sphere. On CoinMarketCap, the market cap is sitting at $1.3 trillion. Bitcoin sitting at $32,000. ETH is finally above 2K, sitting at $2,019. Tether is still number 3 with a market cap of $61 billion. Binance Coin still under 300 bucks at $295. Cardano is at $1.18 right now, okay? And then from there, one of the big movers with the XRP news today, XRP's back up in the 6th place spot, and USDC is now chilling at the 7th place spot. Rounding out our top 10 is Dogecoin at 19 cents, Polkadot at number 9 at $13, and the Binance stablecoin is now chilling at number 10. Uniswap has been just staying outside of the top 10, chilling at number 11 for a while now at $17.53. Guys, be sure to check out my affiliate links down below. And if you're holding all your coins on Coinbase, you can check out Celsius, okay? If they're just sitting on Coinbase, why not put them to work and store them on Celsius? They will pay you $40 for putting $400 in of your Bitcoin in their wallet. Put your crypto to work and earn on coins and get paid out every Monday, staking rewards up to 13.99% on different coins. Get Celsius on your iOS and Google Play Store. Download to your computer or laptop. Check out Celsius if you want, guys. They pay up to 6.2% on Bitcoin. And Celsius, unbank yourself. Let's take a look at the charts, okay? For the weekly on Bitcoin, okay, it's still in this channel down here, moving to make hopefully a higher high on the daily and weekly chart coming up. The RSI is still in the middle. The stochastic hasn't taken that turn on the weekly. It's still in the oversold area. Right now, with this downward trend we still see, let's take a look at the daily here. All right, on that downward trend, we're seeing the potential for it to, in the next day or two, hopefully move above that trend line and break out of this bearish pattern that we've got going on. If you've been following my videos recently, you know we've been talking about Bollinger Bands and how it has been just outside the Bollinger Bands over the past couple days. Okay, we haven't seen it really dip outside the Bollinger Band since about a month ago, realistically, right now. Okay, and then you've had your time to find your way up. If you sold on the way up, great for you. You made some profit. If you're finding yourself on this way down right now, hopefully we can find it up. The daily resistance is chilling at about $33,500. The daily support is sitting at about $29,400, okay? And then your weekly resistance is a little bit lower at 26. Sorry, your weekly resistance is at about $34,600 and your weekly support is down in the $26,000 range. Bitcoin is going up and up on the stochastic right now. How high will it go? It's got a little bit ways to move. That ways to move is probably going to be somewhere close to the $33,000 mark. If it can make a nice jump higher than that, we could see it test 34,000, and ultimately the goal is about 36,000 to test. Right up here will be that next line of resistance on the weekly. But until it does that, you just hang yourself tight and see where it goes from here. Keep your dollar cost averaging going. Okay, don't get too crazy on the plays. Take a looking at the 1 hour. Okay, we're not going to go super crazy on the 1 hour, but just know that it's towards the way of just coming off it overbought area. Okay, so you're going to see it start to move down in that trend. How far down? Well, not realistically too far, because the RSI is in the middle here. It could turn back. You just have to make sure you're paying attention to it if you're one that wants to trade Bitcoin on the hour timestamps. Okay, that's if that's something you like to do. We had that small channel back here, and now it's over into towards the oversold territory. Okay, sorry, overbought territory. My apologies. ETH. We're going to look at ETH on the weekly and daily chart real quick. Okay, with ETH, it's really in the oversold territory. The RSI on the 14 is in the middle. The Bollinger Band is nice and wide. But what you're looking at here is ETH did, believe it or not, pass that trend line. Okay, with it breaking that trend line, what's nice about it to see is on the daily it's above its resistance. Hopefully it can stay here, and then we're going to analyze it on the daily chart and see where it's moving from here. With it moving, making is really big gains. Okay, it came down to about that weekly support line and then bounced off it. That daily support has been just broken past, and now the daily is going to try to break realistically that the $20,100 line, which is almost in this range here. Then your weekly, which is still, like I said, that 2100, 2150. Okay, it's got to test that to move up. It did break out of the Bollinger Band. Now it's on its way up. How far up will it go? We got to look into what's going to happen in the future for this. We're going to have to retest that line. If it can close above and then close above tomorrow, and you start to see this Bollinger Band work its way towards the top, don't forget, make sure you're looking into where the stochastics RSI is finding its overbought territory. Okay, and then make sure you check that RSI, because if it finds its way up fast, it's going to come down fast. If it works its way up slow, then you're going to have more of an opportunity to sell. But you have to make sure you're checking that. Remember, always do your own research. Don't just look into it for one day. If you're trying to trade, it's much riskier than dollar cost averaging and holding it for 2 to 5 years. Dogecoin's breaking that trend line too on the daily, which is nice to see. It's coming right at it. It is just sitting on it right now, maybe a little bit up towards that resistance at the 20-cent mark, which is going to be tough for Dogecoin to break, because that is one of those even numbers. Okay, mentally people look at those numbers and they just think the 20 cent, the 25 cent, the 30 cent. It's a lot of selling pressure at those volumes. If it can pass that, the next one for it is in that 21, and then after that you're looking into the 23-cent range for Dogecoin. And a lot of this play depends on the Bitcoin charts and seeing what it's going to do from there. Looking at the weekly, it is a nice upward trend right now. For it to keep going, it's got to keep breaking into these higher highs and get away from those lower lows. Looking at Matic is one we've been talking about basically since day one on this channel. It's sitting at the 90-cent range now, which is nice to see. Matic had a huge uptick. It's been a little bit slower today, but still finding its way up above 90 cents, which is great. The stochastic still has it on its oversold territory. The RSI is still sitting on the higher side. It's just above 50. With the Bollinger Band, realistically on the daily, that's more of the range for the Bollinger Band. Okay, you see that huge red candle down here with the wick, and then it just saying, I'm just going to take off like a rocket from here. It's moving into the higher side of the Bollinger Band, which is a good thing to see. On the stochastic is moving on its way up. The RSI is still on under 50, so this thing does have some room to move, which is nice to see. I want to take a look at it on the 1 hour and maybe the 4 hour. We're just going to take a look just so people understand where it's at. It is above the middle of the Bollinger Band, which realistically you have to be careful about, and it all depends on where your stochastics and where your RSIs come into play. Here is when you would want to look into buying in. buying in at the top is very tough. If you're dollar cost averaging in and you're investing in this play for a long-term run, then go ahead, be my guest. That's really where you're going to find your most success, is dollar cost averaging in the long run of things. Looking at Cardano on the daily chart, Cardano had a big move today as well, with it coming from the first all the way down at $1. Okay, it's now sitting at $1.18. It's been floating at $1.18 for a little bit of time now. And like I said, with all these, it's got to keep above that trend line, make these higher lows. Okay, we want to see higher lows at this point. With it coming all the way up, it could be sitting at around 24 to 25 cents. Okay, at $1.24 or $1.25. If it breaks that $1.22 resistance and keeps pushing to $1.25, when the stochastic comes down after that, it's going to find support at around $1.15 range. So that's the play for this next week coming forward. Look into that being the play for it. Hopefully it can keep pushing to $1.24, test that range, and then find on its way down off the stochastic $1.15, and then make those higher lows, and then keep making those higher highs moving forward. Cardano could realistically see $1.30 hopefully in 2 weeks, realistically. And $1.30 is that weekly resistance line right here. $1.31 being that weekly resistance line, with the weekly support down at $1. Okay, that's where you're looking at it for the stochastic of Cardano. Looking at Harmony. Okay, I got to zoom in. Harmony is a small one. Okay, just to make it a little bit bigger so we can all see. With Harmony, okay, Harmony hasn't done much moving at all in the past 2 days, which is a little bit tough for it. A lot of people are invested in Harmony. A lot of people online are invested in Harmony, and there's a big community behind Harmony believing in it. It can see it just needs that one little that one little bump. If Bitcoin moves, Harmony's going to move. How big, how much of a run is it going to take? I don't know. That's all. It all comes down to volume at that point. Let's take a look at the volume for Harmony real quick. With it, like I said, Harmony's volume isn't really too big right now, which isn't a terrible thing. You just have to know that this is one of those not really sleepers, but right now, once it gets some media coverage, once Bitcoin makes its move, you'll see Harmony move with it. Harmony is looking at a higher high right now. Stochastic says it's got a lot of room to move. Whereas you look at something like Matic, which has already had a lot of volume move. So Matic will move quicker and it'll go to the downside quicker. Harmony's going to take a little bit more time to move, which is okay. Harmony moving a little bit slower is fine. That's going to be opportunities for people to dollar cost average in. If this is a play you believe in, 6-cent Harmony is nice. 5-cent Harmony you would love. Okay, but realistically, it might not go back down that far. Don't FOMO into any of the plays. Just know and look at where Harmony's at right now. Looking at it on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, Harmony's coming off the top of its Bollinger Band. Okay, this is where you get into trading Harmony. I would like to dollar cost average in. I still believe in Bollinger Bands so much. Bollinger Bands is a great tool for you to use. It realistically, if you have all day to sit here and you want to be a day trader, Bollinger Band isn't the only one to use. But if you want to dollar cost average in and you want to get the most for your money, the most Satoshis for your money, Bollinger Bands will help you with stochastics. Looking at RSI, I'm going to take volume off now. Okay, then we're going to bring our RSI back. And then you can time these plays. You can time them. You could have found this on the 20th. Down at the 5-cent range, about 5.5, okay, maybe a little bit lower, and timed it to come up to 6.5. Okay, what is that in the percentages? Let's take a look real quick. We're going to look at price range. Okay, if you found it at the bottom, yes, there's more of a bottom, and you saw the top, 23% gains right there. You're stacking Satoshis. Now, realistically, not financial advice, but if you sold all of it, okay, you can't sit here and hope Harmony dips. If it keeps going up, you're going to lose your mind, and that's the scary thing, Okay, if you thought you sold at the top of the band and then the band just kept going up, remember there's always going to be another play. Don't lose your mind about it. Taxes can hurt you on selling short, okay, or selling quickly on certain on any coin. If you're selling under a year, you're going to get hit with taxes. But you have to understand going forward, there's always going to be another play. That's why I love dollar cost averaging. I would dollar cost average into everything. I'll tell you guys the dollar cost average until the cows come home. Looking at Telcoin, okay, Telcoin has had a nice run. The run for Telcoin, I could be wrong, but it was like a 50% increase from the bottom here all the way up to the top. 70% increase. Good for you if you caught this 70% increase over a 2-day span. I mean, there's just golf clap for you. Found it all the way at the weekly resistance or weekly support down here. And you rode that thing all the way to the top. Like, hey, kudos to you if you did. But if you didn't, okay, what's the play? We're gonna go all the way back towards the weekly to take a look. We've been talking about it's found its higher highs. It has to find its higher highs. Stochastic is still at the bottom on the weekly, which is a good thing. It'll be a slow mover. On the monthly tells a different story, okay, which is okay. The monthly has its different ranges, which is not a bad thing. It's all on Bitcoin in the monthly, realistically. Excuse me. Looking at the daily, okay, the stochastic is going to keep moving up. It's got some room to test. It's already broken past the daily, our daily, when I did the analysis on Telcoin the other day. It's already broken past it. The daily resistance was at about 0.12 pennies, 0.012 pennies. Sorry, long video. I had a little bit of a tongue tie there. Now looking at it, okay, what's it gonna go? It's got to find that daily resistance at about 0.15 now. Okay, then you're gonna have your weekly resistance. Your weekly resistance is gonna have to start looking up. It's still gonna sit at about 0.1016 right now. It's looking at your weekly, going a little bit closer on that daily. Okay, that top of the line right here at about 0.17, 0.15, a 0.15 or 0.17, that's where your resistance is going to be looking at Telcoin right now. It's at the top of the stochastic on the 4-hour, which is a tell for a downward trend. If it closes above the line here on the stochastic, on the RSI, and it can sit in this range right around here or here, okay, which is never bad. But realistically, if it finds its highs in this range here, then you're looking at a turn, and then you're finding itself in a channel where it can find its time to move up in an upward trend, which would be very nice for Harmony. And then that's a nice bullish sign for the market moving forward. Harmony could do it. Can't say it isn't possible. But at the same time, just know what you're getting yourself into going down the forward. XRP had a good day today. Okay, it wasn't a great move, but 3 cents for XRP with still in the lawsuit battle is a nice move. It's on the top of the 4 hours, so you're going to see some sell off, which is normal. On the daily, okay, it's coming off. Or it's in the middle of stochastic. It's just passing the trend line right now, which is very bullish for a lot of it, and that's why you see a lot of things still sitting in the green. All right, on the weekly, it's like every other tell. Okay, nothing that you guys shouldn't be able to pick up on now as you're moving forward. The stochastic's at the bottom, the RSI is in the middle. The trend line is breaking just above it. If it can break above that trend line and lurk to see for higher highs, it's just bullish news all the way forward. EOS is a little bit of a tricky one moving forward with EOS. It's sitting just at that resistance on the daily. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in. Let's take a look. Okay, on that resistance, it's right here at about $3.60 62 cents, 63 cents. The next line of resistance for it is at about $4, okay? It's got a lot of room to move looking at the stochastic RSI down here. It still has a lot of room to move for EOS, which is good news. If you're one looking to find a time and to time the entry of EOS, you would have loved it at $3. You would have loved it even anything below $3. It could still find its way down. So don't think you're out of this play for EOS. It still potentially can test those support lines within the next 2 to 3 weeks going into August, whereas it also could move on its way up and test $4 in this next week, in the next about month. We're looking into August now for these plays on the daily. In the 1 hour, if you're really in love with EOS, hold off on buying unless you're dollar cost averaging in for the long-term play. Okay, it's better to find that entry point. EOS could be $4 tomorrow. You could go to sleep and EOS could be $4. Okay, I'm not saying that isn't possible. I just need you guys to think, if you're trying to trade these things and you're trading EOS and buying in at the top, you might be hurting yourself in the long run of things. Look for that bottom of the band. You might not see it touch the bottom of the band for another 2-3 weeks. That's okay. You don't have to trade every day. That was one of my biggest mistakes in crypto when I started out, is feeling that I had to make a trade every single day. I'm going to make another top worst mistakes videos that I made when I started out with crypto, so that you guys can start to learn about the plays as well. Looking at H-bar or Hedera hash graph. H-bar, I want to go to the daily. That's where we could get our tells and see what's going on moving down the line. All right, it's at the bottom of the band. A lot of these things are. If you are watching this video right now, okay, you'll start to see a lot of these things moving in that direction. The stochastic is about to cross. When the stochastic crosses, H-bar has more of an opportunity if it passes the 17-cent resistance line and moves up into that 18-cent mark. There's no reason H-bar couldn't test the 20-cent range going forward in these next couple weeks. It's just got to get over that trend line. Okay, for H-bar, which shouldn't be too difficult to do, especially because H-bar has been in the news a lot of the media lately. Make sure you stay up to date and do your own research on H-bar, especially if you want to time your entry into H-bar. If you're looking at dollar cost average, you know what I'm telling you. Always make sure that you're finding the right entry points, but still dollar cost average in at the appropriate times. With Stellar Lumens, just made a video about Stellar Lumens today. Okay, positive news moving forward with Stellar Lumens. Can see it start to move. You already see on the daily with our talks about Stellar Lumens how it started to jump, which is all good things. It just has to close above that trend line, and from there, if it closes above the trend line, my trend line is a little bit off, got to readjust it. If it closes, I missed it again. Let me go into the 4 hour. Okay, I don't want to get too crazy, but it needs to sit on that line right there, and then we have to go back and readjust it right there. There we go. Okay, if it sits above that trend line and closes on this day, we're hopefully gonna. Ooh, this one's a little actually. Okay, so looking at it, I'm glad I did this. Okay, I'm glad that I took the time to move into the into this range here. Looking at it on the RSI 14, the stochastic, both of these are oversold, and oversold. Okay, this is good for you guys to see. I would realistically right now, looking at this Bollinger Band, it's still really high at the top. You're going to see this thing move down in the next day, and most likely in the next 2 or 3 hours, it's going to find its time where it's going to be moving down. It's going to come down and test this probably support line here. If it tests the 23-cent support line in Stellar Lumens, which is realistic, okay, it's up 14% on the day. when it has a green day, you're going to see some red, some pullbacks, okay? If you found the opportunity to buy Stellar Lumens down at the 20-cent range, you're looking at good profits depending on how big of a play you can put in. But right now, do not be shocked if Stellar Lumens pulls back to the 24 or the 23-cent range. That's realistic in the next 2 days. With the stochastic being so high, it's going to find its time to move down into this range. It could move into this range here and come into around the 40% range on the RSI, and then start to show you a little bit up and then go even further down. You have to watch this one. I would not really be looking to trade this thing on a daily level right now because it's already run up so much. You would definitely look into time it on a swing trade. On the daily, or sorry, the 1 hour alone, it's already coming off that top where it was oversold. Sorry, overbought. My apologies, overbought. This is why you can't just look at the stochastic. You have to look at the RSI 14 as well, because as you can see in the RSI 14 here, it's still sitting in or just at that overbought territory. So it's got room to move down in these bands. Stock to flow model, okay? Stock to flow, since the inception of Bitcoin, has been showing the price pattern and the future predictions for Bitcoin. Okay, we're in this range right here where the stock to flow model is sitting in about the 30K range. It's touched a little bit further out than it has previously in the past, but what you must know is that it could find its way back. This is why a lot of people are bullish on Bitcoin, and they've been staying tried and true to bullish on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, realistically, a lot of bulls want to see it hit 100K. Okay, and that's why I've been telling you, and realistically, a couple videos back, we broke down one of the segments where people look at Bitcoin as gold. People look at Bitcoin as owning land. Okay, if you don't have Bitcoin, you should find your time to dollar cost average in appropriately. Okay, it shouldn't change your life. All right. If you're worried about finding food and putting food on your table, not realistic should you be investing all your money into Bitcoin at that time. Dollar cost average in and sit back and, just like I always say, let that tree grow. Water that tree, and in the future down the line, let it be generational change your generation. Okay, that's why I'm always talking about we're trying to find generational wealth. Let your money work for you, and Celsius can help you do that. Okay, never forget why you're in crypto. Okay, down below in the comments, elaborate on the reasons for your cryptocurrency journey. Don't let FOMO control you. Leave a like to help this video reach more people, and watch more other videos on price prediction. Subscribe to stay up to date. Comment on what tokens you want me to do a deep dive into next. It's all love. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Until next time, guys, Pat out. The other affiliate links down below. You've got BlockFi. The link is in the description. You can get up to $250 in Bitcoin rewards for adding your money into BlockFi. Coinbase, you can get $10 worth of free Bitcoin by using my link in the description below. They have about $20, I think $8 more that you can earn through doing some quick educational videos on different currencies in their rewards tab when you open a Coinbase account. So you can potentially get almost $50 in crypto by signing up for Coinbase. And if you do all that right now, looking where Bitcoin is, it's sitting at 30K. If Bitcoin hits 60K, that $50 that you got will be in the ballpark of about $100 when Bitcoin makes it back to 60. And going forward from there, the altcoins with it, you could just not touch your financials that you got, and you could see it go through the roof, and you didn't have to do anything for that. Okay, so don't think of it like you have to put in $1,000 to get started in cryptocurrency. You don't. What you have to realize is it just means you start. Stack those sats. Celsius is a great one right now. They have some of the highest rewards and earning for staking your crypto with their wallet. Link in the description below. Use my link to get $40 in free Bitcoin. Guys, it's all love. Thank you for being a part of my journey. Until next time, Pat out.